All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call law, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the powers of Israel, aka the powers of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right. Bear with me. I should have queued up the article already. But there's an article from the Newsweek. I used a thumbnail. Basically it says a new NATO member joins first nuclear weapons drill. All right, so like, as once again, I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but not really. But, I know sometimes it does seem like a broken record, but, these scriptures and these events happening in real time keep bringing out the same scriptures that, because remember, these is prophecies. So now these scriptures that prophesy of the things happening now these events are happening, keep bringing the scriptures out. And basically now, since you had this it says new NATO member joins first nuclear weapons drill. And this article is from today. Boom. So I'm gonna dive right into it. I actually have two articles from a Newsweek. They're two good articles. So I'm gonna get into this one first. So it says Finland, which is the new NATO member. It says Finland will take part in a major NATO nuclear weapons exercise next week for the first time since the country joined the military alliance last year, local media reported on Friday. It says, according to the Finnish newspaper Ilta Sanomat, exercise Steadfast Noon will be launched on October 14th, and that's 7 days from today. And it says it will last 2 weeks in the airspace of the United Kingdom, Denmark, and the Netherlands. Finland would send fighter jets to the exercise, the report said. It says Key Aero, an aviation news site, reported that the Finnish F-8-18 fighter jets were among the participating units in the exercise. NATO has said the annual exercise, which is long planned, helped to ensure the credibility, effectiveness, and security of its nuclear deterrent. See all the nuclear talks? And remember, didn't Russia just issue a nuclear threat to the U.S. regarding the whole thing going on with Ukraine? Now, and every day, since last year on this day, we all know what started with the small hats, and then you have the whole thing with the Ukrainians and Russians. But ever since all of that, since those two major wars and proxies, whatever have you, since they've started, the nuclear talks on the earth have increased like a motherfucker, man. Excuse my French. I mean, heavily increased. All right, and it hasn't stopped. It actually increasing more and more as the days go on. But continuing on, it says Finland became a member of NATO, an alliance led by the United States in April last year. The Nordic country, which borders Russia to the east, changed its policy of military non-alignment following the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia in February 2022. So because of what happened with 2022, with Russia, Ukraine, then a little down the line, April in the following year, they became members of NATO. And it says, after the completion of accession to NATO, Finland's defense ministry said it would take part in the nuclear planning and support operations of the alliance. However, the country has also decided it would not permit the deployment of nuclear weapons on its territory. Yeah, for now. But all the nations are involved. And, Finland, that's Edomite, so, they got to get a piece of this, man. It says this will be the third time NATO holds its nuclear weapons drill during the Russia-Ukraine war, the largest conventional war in Europe since World War II. And it says where Moscow, which is Russia, has repeatedly threatened nuclear escalation, which they did just a couple days ago. I did a video on it yesterday because the article's from the 5th. It said Russia issues nuclear threat to the U.S. So it says where Moscow has repeatedly threatened escalation against Kiev and its partners in the West. It says during last year's Steadfast Noon exercise, which did not involve live bombs, 60 military aircraft trained over southern Europe, including fighter jets capable of carrying nuclear warheads. NATO said the training was held at least 621 miles from the Russian borders. It said the U.S. has deployed B-61 nuclear gravity bombs in Europe as part of NATO nuclear sharing arrangements, where the nukes remain under the custody and control of the U.S. military. They would be armed on Allied fighter jets in the event of a nuclear conflict. That means they know a nuclear conflict is coming. Everyone is preparing for the major nuclear conflict. The ultimate last battle of World War III. And ultimately, what's going to happen then? YAHAWASHI is going to come back. That's why we want, continue to gather your nukes. Get your nukes ready. Have nuclear. It's going to be a nuclear party. But just know that Esau, you not come back up. Amalek, you small ass, you not come back up. Once y'all get nuclear going, once y'all get a nuclear war going, that's over for all you nations, man. After that, all you nations are going to be put under the nation of Israel, the real children of the sons and daughters of Jacob. All right? That's what's about to happen. So continue to get your nukes ready. Continue to have these talks of nuclear deterrence and in case of nuclear conflict, because there will be a nuclear conflict. Oops. Oh, shit. And it says the Europe-based American nuke served as an extended deterrent to support NATO's collective security. This commitment, also known as the nuclear umbrella, aims to deter and respond to potential nuclear and non-nuclear scenarios in defense of allies and partners. You keep talking about in case, but eventually someone is going to use their nuclear weapons. Eventually someone is going to use their capabilities, man. And now that's why everyone is gathering nuclear capabilities now, putting all their ducks in a row. All right? It says NATO has said that nuclear weapons are a core component of the alliance's deterrence and defense capabilities. Nuclear weapons. It says it said it is committed to arms control, disarmament, and non-proliferation, but as long as nuclear weapons exist, it will remain a nuclear alliance. So that means that it's going to remain a nuclear alliance because nuclear weapons are always going to exist until YAHAWASHI comes back and then until y'all destroy each other with them. So yeah, nuclear weapons are going to continue to exist. They're not going to stop. And best believe the nuclear talks and the nuclear capabilities are going to continue to intensify, man. All right? It says, according to the bulletin of the atomic scientists, the U.S. stationed around 100 nuclear gravity bombs in Italy, Germany, Turkey, Belgium. And you see what's going on with Turkey and NATO right now. They're a little bit at odds with NATO, but continuing on, it says Belgium and the Netherlands. Among them, the Belgian, Dutch, German, and Italian air forces are assigned an active nuclear strike role. Nuclear active strike role. What nuclear continues to be in the talk. Now you're hearing the word nuclear actually more and more. Shalom. Now you're actually hearing nuclear more and more and more. And damn near starting to be in all the talks on these ongoing wars and proxy wars. Nuclear. All right, now we're talking about a nuclear response. Everybody's talking about nuclear war. That's what the Lord said. Get the indignation of his anger is going to be fire. So these fire that these nations, that the Lord had to Smith, had these nations create the nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs. But ultimately, when YAHAWASHI come back, he's going to bring more fire. Was that it? It says that besides the U.S. nuclear weapons deployed in Europe, which are tactical or non-strategic due to their low yields and designed for use on the battlefield, NATO relies on the American strategic nuclear forces, including ballistic missiles and nuke-capable bombers. There go nukes. There go nukes. It said the U.S. has a nuclear stockpile of 3,748 warheads as of September last year, government data showed. The bulletin of the atomic scientists estimated there were 200 B-61 nukes, of which half are stored in the U.S. for backup and support of non-European allies. Non-European allies. Who is a non-European ally? Who's an ally that they still supporting that's not part of NATO? You get them small heads is one. But it's all Esau and it's all Amalek. The region don't matter, but the region does matter as far as prophecy goes. Because what? That's our land. That's why it's so important what's going on right now, and to keep paying attention to what's going on over there, because this is only going to get worse. And America is in the forefront of all these wars. They're in the midst of all these wars in all these regions: Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, everywhere, man. America got their fucking nose in everything, man. That's how we know that America is the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, the last leg of the Roman Empire. That's exactly what Rome was doing. They're gonna have their hands on, had their paws and everything. And that's pretty much in that article. And there's one more article. Matter of fact, let me get the some scriptures real quick. I'm gonna get this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. And it reads, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" Now these are the disciples asking YAHAWASHI, what should be the sign of thy coming, the end of the world, right? And I'm gonna jump down to verse 6, and he says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." And now what do I just read? More wars and rumors of wars, and it's going to continue. Wars and rumors of wars is going to intensify more and more, more and more and more, until the nuclear weapons are shot back and forth, to and fro. There's not going to be just they talking, these shoving matches and all these diplomatic talks on like, yeah, we're going to do that. Nah, it's going to get up close and personal, man. And the next article I'm going to read, it brings out some heavy information, because it's talking about the over there in the Arctic, that the ice is melting, is making. I'm not going to get it. So yeah, so it says, I'm gonna read the scripture again. So it says, Matthew 24 and 6, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So all these things must come to pass. All these nations, Esau against Esau, all these nations, Elam, Ishmael, Ham, all these nations, Moab, Ammon, all of these nations are getting involved for the great day of the Lord. Joel, the 3rd chapter, where the Lord said he's going to sit and judge all the heathen round about. They're going to be fighting first, each other, right? Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And we have all of that, man. We have all of that still going on and counting. You have nation against nation. Isn't Ishmael a nation? Isn't Esau a nation? Isn't Moab a nation? Isn't Ammon a nation? All these nations are rising against nation. You had all these nations against Jake for the longest, but now YAHAWASHI is waking up his men. Now his word and his name has gone throughout the four corners of the earth. Now it's time for these nations to go to war, because that's what's supposed to come next. The prophets came last and prophesied against what? A great kingdom. Esau's kingdom, America, Russia, those small hats in our land. They all got to get rooted out, man. They all got to get judged, man. And that's going to be a beautiful thing once it comes to pass, man. Because you have things that the prophets have been prophesying coming to pass already, and and then what's going to come throughout all of this? The MOTB, the Michael C. hip. You still got to have that. We still got so all this war is going to fester. It's going to keep building up, and in the meantime, these devils going to get the beast system up, cashless society, digital currency, all these things. That's what's about to take place. It's all coming back in one big ball. All one full swing, man. The Lord got all these prophets. Esau, America, the daughter of Babylon, just feeling it all from all angles, man. So we're like, soon enough, then you already got these lower level Edomites on something like, yo, what the fuck? We need Trump in here. But it's not just about Trump or Kamala Harris. It's not about the next president of the United States. This thing is bigger than Nino Brown. This thing is bigger than Donald Trump. It's bigger than Kamala Harris, man. They just pawns. They just puppets, man. The Lord said he's coming to get the whole house of Edom, which Trump and Kamala are part of. Okay, so I'm going to get the second article real quick. This one was even heavier than before. Oh. So this is also from Newsweek, and it reads, "Russia threatens NATO with catastrophic consequences over Arctic activity." Look at that. There you go. What's today's date? That's today's date, right? October 7th, 10/7/2024. A year after what's going on in the world right now, the event that happened on this day last year, which triggered all of this. Look at what's triggered in the course of a year, man. You got more and more nuclear talks more than ever in the course of 1 year. That's why the Lord said, what? The third woe coming quickly. The third woe coming quickly. What they said that this hasn't been the last bit of this kind of action since World War II. But now we're coming into the third woe. World War III is coming to pass soon. All right? So, yeah, it says Russia threatens NATO with catastrophic consequences over Arctic activity. I'm going to get right to it. It says Russia has issued a stark warning to NATO, threatening catastrophic consequences if the military alliance continues. So it says if the military alliance, which is talking about NATO, continues its activities in the Arctic and intensifies its involvement in Ukraine. That's what we're getting. It says Yulia Zandanova, acting head of the Russian delegation at the Vienna negotiations on military security and arms control, told Russian state news agency RIA Novosti yesterday. NATO has long been preparing for a potential armed clash with Russia, constantly working out possible options from the Arctic to the Black Sea. That area over there. It says, at the same time, very provocative steps are being taken in the Ukrainian direction. The range of the missiles supplied is steadily increasing, and the rhetoric about the possible sending of NATO troops to Ukraine continues. Here, by the way, France is again zealous. This game could get out of control and lead to an escalation of the conflict with catastrophic consequences. I'm going to read that again. It says this game could get out of control and lead to an escalation of the conflict with catastrophic consequences. What are the catastrophic consequences? Nuclear weapons being used. Russia already used the biggest non-nuclear weapon on the Ukraine a couple days ago. So you already see what time we are. The thing it's already escalating, and it's escalating more and more every day. So this is okay. So yeah, it says Newsweek has reached out to NATO and the Russian Defense Ministry for comment fee, whatever. And it says the Arctic has become a geopolitical hotspot in recent years, with both NATO and Russia ramping up military activity in the region, which is rich in untapped resources and holds significant strategic importance. It said the Arctic rivalry between Russia and NATO is rooted in the region's geopolitical and economic significance, as climate change is opening previously inaccessible areas to navigation and resource extraction. As ice melts, new shipping routes are emerging, reducing travel time between Europe, Asia, and North America. So you said the Lord is working, melt that climate, quote unquote, climate change, melting the ice, making the travel easier to get what it said. It says, as ice melts, new shipping routes are emerging, reducing travel time between Europe, Asia, and North America, where all these countries are at. All right? It says, it is believed that the Arctic holds vast reserves of oil, gas, and minerals, making it a focal point for economic interest from global powers. And it says, as tensions between Russia and NATO increase over support for the Ukraine in its defense against the ongoing Russian invasion, the Kremlin's officials have been embroiled in a war of words with the international bloc. And it says NATO allies have been working to provide military aid to Ukraine, but the deployment of any form of boots on the ground could raise fears of further escalation. They don't want that smoke. Yeah, go ahead and send some soldiers to the Ukraine, because the Russian soldiers are in the Ukraine. You have Russian boots on the ground in the Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. They're already taken over some parts, man. So let's go. The hooks are getting in the jaws. The bear is awoken. They poked the bear enough. Now the bear has been active for 2 years now, but now the bear is getting more and more violent. The bear, I'm talking about Russia. And Russia said that nuclear escalation was in the conversation. That's where we at right now. And you got our people, you got the American people, Jake, all these people thinking that this shit not about to happen, thinking that this shit is still going to just take mad long and not happen in this lifetime. But you're seeing it unfold in this lifetime. How much longer you think till these nations go nuclear? They're already fighting. The Lord said what? Wars and rumors of wars. This all gonna be in the same. This all gonna be in the same time frame. It's not gonna be a bunch of people that's gonna come and be born. The 80s babies, 90 babies gonna get old and die, and it's gonna be a whole other generation. And they still all arguing. All these leaders dead and gone. It's gonna be a new set of leaders. No, this is it right here. This that last third world that coming quickly. The Lord said what? Their generation shall not pass away till all things be fulfilled. All things are being fulfilled right now. We don't have much time here. Now, no matter how much, we don't know exactly how much time we have, but it can't be long. Because you have a lot of last bit of prophecies already set in place. All we're waiting for now is what? The MOTB. They got to get, they have to start putting the sieve in everybody. And that's coming shortly too. Watch out for that. You already have people that have it. You already have people that used it. They talk about the universal basic income. That's me personally. That's how I think they're going to get the whole beast system off the ground, because as these companies close, they automate everything. They said it's going to be less human workforce. So you're going to get you basically going to get an allotment of pay, basically an allowance from the government. How else are you going to continue to get? They're going to start it out, and they're going to say, wait, we have a new thing aligned, so you have to get something in your skin. That's that's my personal opinion, and that's logically thinking how things are going right now. It makes sense, but you know what I mean. It's all the will of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. I'm just a man. I'm just talking about from my logical carnal mind and what I'm seeing. Okay, but something else could make this thing go left, and they do it somehow or other way. But continuing on. So it says in September, the chairman of Russia's State Duma, the lower house of the parliament, Vikliks, whatever Russian shit, accused NATO of helping Ukraine choose which Russian cities to target. The United States, Germany, England, and France are discussing the possibility of long-range strikes on the territory of our country, Volodin wrote. This is nothing more than an attempt to camouflage and hide their direct participation in hostilities. In fact, excuse me, the United States and its allies are trying to allow themselves to carry out acts of aggression with missiles against Russia. So you have Russia now accusing, says Germany, England, France, the United States. Russia saying that y'all all against us. And remember, this is what also saying how divided. How shall it stand? These are all Edomite countries. And then ultimately, these countries gonna come, these NATO countries, it said the beast shall hate the horse, so they're gonna come against America eventually. And you already have Turkey, what is it? Turkey, I believe Turkey, France. I'm not sure about Italy, but I think Turkey and France are I know Turkey for a fact is definitely against what's going on with them small hats, our land, Israel. They're definitely against that. And talk about they siding with Iran. So you know, it's a lot of things unfolding. Okay, so it's a couple more lines left. So it says just last month, Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko warned that nuclear weapons would be used against NATO if it attacked either his nation or Russia. So that's a Bulgaria, I guess. Oh, so look. See, man. See, more nuclear talks. I'm reading that again. It said, just last month, Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko warned that nuclear weapons would be used against NATO if it attacked either his nation or Russia. It said the Belarusian leader said that Russia's nuclear doctrine had been altered to state that nuclear weapons would be used in the event of an attack on either country. As I said at the Patriotic Forum held on September 17th, an attack against Belarus will trigger World War III. Recently, Vladimir Putin has confirmed it, having amended the nuclear doctrine. An attack on Russia and Belarus will trigger a nuclear response, Lukashenko said in September, which was just a couple weeks ago. September ended. We only in October 7th. So we're in the beginning of October, and this was said in it said what, they had this meeting in September 7th, which is what date was that? When was that? Oops. September 17th was what? So not this past Tuesday, not this past Tuesday, and not the Tuesday before, but the Tuesday before that. So it was like 2 weeks ago. They had this meeting where saying that the nuclear doctrine was altered. So let's go back to that. So yeah, so it says, as I said at the Patriotic Forum held on September 17th, which is 2 weeks ago, an attack against Belarus will trigger World War III. Recently, Vladimir Putin has confirmed it, having amended the nuclear doctrine. An attack on Russia and Belarus will trigger a nuclear response, Lukashenko said in September. So what? These are the wars and rumors of wars I just read in Matthew the 24th chapter. Joel the 3rd chapter. Proclaiming this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Beat your plowshares into swords. What do you think this nuclear preparation is, man? The nations are getting ready for war. They're bringing their plowshares into sword. These swords are the modern day sword is these missiles. What a sword can't make a sword can't make a smoke of a scroll and fire. No, talk about the missiles, man, the flying swords, if you will. And that was in that article. So yo, you see that? There you go. Nuclear response this, nuclear response that. Get your nuclear drills this. Everything is getting put. Everything is being prepared as we speak. As each day passes. Right now is what? What is it? What time is it? 7. So what? They 7 hours at 7. Yeah, 7 hours. So it's like damn near like 2 in the morning over there in the actual eastern side of the world. Cause yeah, they're 7 hours ahead. Yeah. Yep. It's like 1, 2 in the morning right now over there. So they about to be there into the next day. They're in the 8th already. So that's why when we get the news, it's already happened. Like when we in our afternoon, they in their nighttime where we at right now. So yeah. Matthew the 24th chapter is still coming. It's happening every day. Joel the 3rd chapter, Isaiah the 34th chapter, the first few verses. The army, the Lord's getting them hustling the most of the battle. Isaiah, the 9th chapter, I believe. Oh, no, 13th chapter, excuse me. Matter of fact, let's get that. Hold up. Okay, that's a doozy. So it's the book of Isaiah chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 4, and it says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. That's what's being mustered right now. That's what the Lord is talking about. This is the Lord mustering the host of the battle. No other religion, no other doctrine has prophecy like this, man. No, have prophecy at all. The one true living God, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, has all these nations covered. You go into these other religions, you ask any Muslim, yeah, so what's the prophecy on what's going on right now? What did Allah, what did the prophets tell you? Even these fucking pork chop pastors, they don't prophesy. Where's the prophets of Buddha? Where's the prophecy of all these things taking place with all y'all nations about to go to war? It's in the scriptures. It says, verse 5, it says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. And what's the whole land is going to be destroyed permanently, man? America. And America is in all the controversy right now. So all this war stuff goes. You see, America is always mentioned. Every time if you read anything with war going on, America is always mentioned, man. They're always in the mix. Verse 6, and it says, Isaiah 13:6, howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. What the hell you think what do the people think nuclear weapons are? That's a destruction, man. A major destruction, man. That's era changing destruction, man. This is going to alter how the earth is run, these nuclear weapons, man. Everything's going to change once they're shot back and forth and America is destroyed. And that's when Yahawah Shai comes back. And it's every day is getting closer. Nobody can stop it. None of you nations can stop it. Man, the Lord has you continuing to intensify it. Hey, so there you go. There you have it. So call Allah Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. For your word is faithful and true. No matter what. You can't confound it. You can't do nothing against the Lord's prophecy, man. The Lord, man's goings are of the Lord. And who is the Lord? Who is the one true living God? Yahweh, the Father, the Heavenly Father, and His Son, Yahawashi. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. The one true living God and His Son. So with that, Lord Williams is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.